We hand over now to Chamberlain, who's waiting in Lagos finally with a guest.
Well, yes, indeed. Today we had the APC give us their perspective on the state of things. So the next edition, we will have the other side. So we'll hope that you all look forward to that. But now we're joined by Mr. Pascal Odibo, who is a business and financial consultant. Thank you for coming on this morning.
A pleasure, thank you.
Well, taking a look at all of this, I'm just wondering what your response is about, first of all, if you could start about this call for restructuring, wherein clearly some of the party members, we just said the chairman, I don't think he actually thinks that there's a direct correlation with restructuring and providing jobs, because he did say their priority is to ensure that they get jobs, fix the economy, and not necessarily put or lump restructuring alongside all of those.
That's the lot of Africa. The lot of Africa, and incidentally Nigeria. I mean, everybody knew on what platform, pivot, upon which this APC government came into power. One of the first things they said, one of the critical items on the agenda that of course caused the people, especially from the Southwest, to support the growing groundswell for regime change, was devolution of power. Is this restructuring we're talking about? So to midway, not to begin to agitate the system by themselves. And that's what you're seeing, that people are now agitating themselves. Let me say this. I am not panicked at all. These are the cries of a mother that wants to give birth. What you are hearing is the cry of the mother. You will soon start hearing the cry of the child.
What do you mean by the cry of the child?
There'll be a new Nigeria. It will not happen until all this reach a defining and a deafening crescendo. Because the people that are supposed to set the tone, if they did what they're supposed to have done ab initio, I'm telling you, won't be where we are today. And let me say this.
They're quiet about the restructuring?
But they're not quiet about it. Are they not quiet about it? One of the critical items on your manifesto and all the communications, I can, as I speak, I am playing back all the people that came on television to speak, was on devolution of power. That this whole thing isn't working.
If they're quiet on restructuring, is that fueling the agitations more, or is it dampening it?
No, that's, listen, if you don't allow, is it not somebody that said that if you don't make peaceful negotiation possible, you make violent discussions, issues very possible. What is going on is because, and people are beginning to speak because they know the consequence. You need to avoid mob action. You need to avoid it because you can't control it. That's why I've always said that they need to wrestle away this conversation from the pedestal, from the streets, onto the discussion table, so that decent minds can, through a non-violent communication, restructure.
That dovetails into the conversation about the budget, implementing the budget. So we've seen the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, his response to how the National Assembly altered the budget, and they've been going back and forth, and there are many who are concerned, wondering how is this going to turn out in terms of implementing the budget. You've also listened to this. Do you think this is going to have any significant effect on that 2017 budget?
Well, I've always said here, I think I was in Abuja when they interviewed me on the budget, and I said, good thing, first things have been done, which is the append a signature to the document, but the devil is in the detail. It is the detail that makes the whole. Now you can begin to see people were saying, oh, it's because the president was not around, that's why they couldn't sign. No, it was because there was this unfortunate rearrangement of figures even after they have had the budget conversations. is now we are hearing that a whopping 12 billion was budgeted for the second Niger bridge, and not a dime was spent. And that's the agitation. This is where I'm expecting people to become forensic in their agitation. Look at the documentation. This is what develops you. People should move away the conversation from, as it were, from the, not really can't leave the politics, but get into the economic. What portion of the budget has been earmarked for the projects in your area, and encourage escalated conversation in that regard? Somebody must be held accountable.
Part of what
if a portion of a budget has not been used throughout don't forget that thing is a law, has not been used, somebody must be held accountable. Now, because there's a banter between the House and the minister, that's what we're beginning to know. And consequent upon that, they moved 5 billion from the budget for the second Niger bridge again this year. Now, and you can hear the sound in the southeast. You can virtually hear it. They moved money away again from the east, from the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, because somebody wants to put a borehole, the health center. That's why you need to restructure this whole architecture. How can the federal government be building boreholes in the local government?
But the legislators have a right to tinker with this budget and make it appropriate, because they are closest to the people and know what the people want.
The federal government does not want to go to the Supreme Court and get a legal verdict once and for all and get this matter sorted. But if that's not done, we will go through this route again. It will be deja vu in 2018. Who is in charge?
But is there in the Constitution? Is there in the Constitution, Section 5, that allows them to make this change?
There is a lot of ambiguity and ambivalence on this matter in the Constitution.
What would you subscribe?
So go to the Supreme Court and then give a verdict.
What would you subscribe? That they do not tamper or trick with the budget figures, but then these are the people that are closest to the grassroots, the people who actually know what they need. Is that not an anomaly?
This conversation will be very charged if, for instance, there's a member of House of Representatives here. But that's my opinion. My opinion is this. It may not be what anybody else agrees with. If you want to get involved in capital projects, go and join the executive. If you want to make good laws upon which good governance will be predicated upon, then go to the legislature. The point is that we have a people that are confused leading us. There's a lot of confusion, and it's coming to an end. I'm very confident that nobody's going to take this crap. It's just a crap. How come it's just now that we're hearing that investments we have made, commitments we have made, and all of a sudden nobody raised the matter until it began to affect your what you call constitutional projects?
So that suggests that, all of this, the political class, they always look for what they can get. But many of them will tell you, no, this is what we want to do for our constituencies. But for the person who is just standing and watching all of this, maybe say in the private sector, who likes to partner with the public or the public sector so that they can do business and move forward, how do you think they perceive all of this as it plays out?